The man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk is expected in court later today, this time for an evidentiary hearing to determine if the judge will disqualify the entire prosecution team. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is charged with fatally shooting Kirk back in 2025 while Kirk was hosting a debate event at the Utah Valley University. Robinson's defense wants the Utah County Attorney's Office recused, saying there's a conflict of interest because one of the attorney's sons attended the event where Kirk was assassinated. Today, we expect to hear from that son and from prosecutors. Joining me now is criminal defense attorney Matt Ficori to help us walk through all of this. Matt, how likely is it, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
How likely is it that the defense will be successful in their efforts to try to get this prosecution team tossed?
So what's going on here is that the defense is worried about the right to a fair and impartial trial, right? And what they're saying is that this conflict of interest is going to affect the trial and not give them that fair and impartial trial, which is a central right in every criminal case. This type of motion is very rare. It's very rarely filed. It's very hard to get a prosecutor or a prosecutor's office off of a case, right? But it's even less successful, right? It's very rarely filed, and it's very rare that it actually works. I don't think, based on what I hear, I see a true conflict. There has to be a true and clear...
A direct correlation.
A direct correlation, a direct and clear bias or conflict in a case in order for the prosecutors to get out and, let's say, the Attorney General's office or another prosecuting body to come in and take the case. I don't see it. I think it's going to be difficult for the defense to get this done.
But you understand the defense doing it, defense trying to, I guess, throw everything against the wall to see what sticks, or?
I don't know about that. I think what they're trying to do is, first of all, let the judge know that this is very important. There's other issues regarding fair and impartial trials in this case. The second issue is regarding the video and the camera evidence that's going on, or the capturing it in this case. But as far as the conflict of interest is concerned, I think they want a different prosecuting body that might not want to go after the death penalty in this case. That's what's really going on here. They're saying that even if these witnesses are not coming to court to testify, they've still been tainted. There's a personal, familial almost conflict here, and that they don't want them on this case.
Now, part of the defense's motion included the death penalty and the timing of when prosecutors announced they would seek it on the same day the charges were actually announced. How will the states defend those actions?
The actions regarding the death penalty?
Yes.
So I think what the state is going to say is that this is a capital offense. They have every right to seek the death penalty. It has nothing to do with any personal connection or bias in this case. And that based on the type of offense, it's within their right as prosecutors and within the law for them to seek the death penalty in this case.
It also seems as though the defense team is trying to remove the opportunity for electronic devices in the courtroom. Matt, why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't the defense also want to use maybe the media on their side and try to shift the narrative, if it were?
That's a great question, and this argument might be more successful than their first argument regarding the conflict. Now, what they're arguing is that images that are being captured of him in shackles and handcuffs and in Department of Correction gear are going to taint the potential jurors in this case. Remember that the public consists of the potential jurors, and that again goes to the right to fair and impartial trial and jury in this case. They don't want those images because those images are going to convey that he's guilty without even having a trial yet. So they don't want that. Now, the prosecutors want transparency. They want to say, hey, we're not hiding anything in this case. Let's have everybody see this, including the public. The problem is that the public can have their mind made up, unfortunately, because we're human, before the case ever goes to trial. And the defense does not want that.
And Matt, this is not a slam dunk for the prosecution. There is still a need to cross every T and dot every I.
Of course. I mean, from a periphery, it looks like, hey, this is an easy case, but there's always complications in high-profile cases like this, especially when the death penalty is being sought.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.